It was a Tuesday. A normal Tuesday. People went to work. Children went to school. Families ate breakfast together. The sun was warm. The sky was clear. No one expected anything unusual. Then the sky fell. Ships appeared without warning. Hundreds of them. Massive. Alien. They hung over every major city, blocking out the sun. London. New York. Tokyo. Moscow. All of them. Darkness covered the world. For a moment, everyone stared. Confused. Terrified. Then the weapons fired. Beams of energy rained down. Buildings crumbled. Streets melted. People ran, but there was nowhere to go. The attack was swift. Brutal. Complete. In hours, millions were dead. Cities that had stood for centuries were reduced to rubble. Then the ships stopped firing. They hovered in silence, waiting. A transmission was sent to every human frequency. Every screen. Every radio. Every device. An alien voice spoke. Cold. Arrogant. You are primitive. You are weak. Your planet now belongs to the Galactic Alliance. Surrender and some of you may live. World leaders scrambled. Military commanders shouted orders. But nothing worked. Human weapons could not touch the alien ships. Their technology was too advanced. There was no defense. No way to fight back. Some leaders wanted to surrender. Some wanted to beg for mercy. They argued while the world burned. But before anyone could respond, something strange happened. The attack stopped completely. The ships just hovered, waiting. The galaxy watched. Every alien race had their eyes on Earth. They expected the humans to cry, to beg, to surrender. That was what weak species did. Deep underground, in bunkers built long ago, humans did something unexpected. They did not cry. They did not beg. They gathered. In secret rooms. In hidden bases. In places the aliens did not know existed. They looked at each other. They remembered. They remembered centuries of war on Earth. They remembered fighting each other with sticks, then swords, then guns, then bombs. They remembered surviving everything the world threw at them. They remembered that humans did not give up. Ever. A single message was sent from Earth. Not to the aliens. To every human colony on other worlds. To every hidden base on the Moon and Mars. To every ship still out there, scattered across the stars. 2 words. Phase 1. The aliens waited for surrender. They waited for pleas. They waited for cries of mercy. None came. Instead, Earth went quiet. No transmissions. No messages. No begging. Nothing. The planet they had just attacked was silent. High Commander Vorath of the Galactic Alliance frowned at his screen. He had conquered dozens of worlds. He had seen every reaction. Fear. Anger. Desperation. Surrender. He had seen it all. But he had never seen silence. What are they doing? He asked. No one had an answer. And that silence, that complete and utter silence from a world that should be screaming, was more terrifying than any cry for mercy he had ever heard. Days passed. The alien fleet orbited Earth, waiting. No resistance came. No attacks. No communication. Earth was silent. High Commander Vorath grew frustrated. He had expected a quick victory. A quick surrender. Instead, he got nothing. Send troops down, he ordered. Find out what is happening. Alien landing ships descended. Troops poured into the empty cities. They expected to find broken people, hiding in corners, ready to submit. They expected fear, desperation, tears. They found none. The cities were empty. Streets deserted. Homes abandoned. No people. No bodies. Nothing. The humans were gone. Where are they? Vorath demanded. Scouts searched. They found tunnels. Hundreds of them. Leading deep underground. Subways. Bunkers. Old military bases. Cave systems. The humans had retreated to places the aliens could not easily reach. Places not designed for beings of their size. Places that would take time to clear. They were waiting. Vorath stared at the reports. Why don't they fight? Why don't they surrender? What are they doing? No one had answers. Deep underground, humans were busy. They were not hiding. They were preparing. Factories built in secret decades ago were now working non-stop. Ships were being constructed in hidden shipyards. Weapons were being manufactured in tunnels miles deep. Humans were patient. They could wait. They had waited before. Every alien race in the galaxy watched. News of the attack had spread. Every screen, every channel, showed the feed from Earth. They expected a quick war. A quick surrender. That was how things worked. Instead, they saw nothing. Silence. Waiting. It made them uncomfortable. Prey did not act like this. Prey ran. Prey screamed. Prey begged. Humans did none of these things. 2 weeks passed. Still nothing. Then, without warning, a message was broadcast to every alien ship in the system. Just one word. Repeated on every frequency. Soon. The alien soldiers looked at each other. What did soon mean? What were the humans planning? When would soon come? Today? Tomorrow? Next week? Next year? The waiting became unbearable. Soldiers jumped at shadows. Officers argued about what to do. Vorath demanded answers. Demanded action. But his soldiers were scared. They did not know what they were facing. They only knew one thing. Humans did not act like prey. They acted like something else. Something patient. Something that had all the time in the world. Something dangerous. For months, humans had been preparing. They studied the alien ships. Found weaknesses in their shields, their weapons, their formations. They built weapons designed specifically to exploit those weaknesses. They were ready. In the middle of the night, it began. Not from Earth. From everywhere. Hidden doors opened in oceans. Ships rose from the deep. Doors opened in deserts. Ships rose from the sand. Doors opened in mountains. Ships rose from stone. Hundreds of human ships. Ugly. Basic. But armed with weapons made for this moment. They surrounded the alien fleet. High Commander Vorath was asleep when alarms woke him. He ran to the bridge. Stared at the screens. His mouth opened. No words came. Where did they come from? Someone shouted. How did they build these without us seeing? No one answered. No one knew. The human ships attacked. They fired their weapons. Not random shots. Targeted shots. Aimed at the weak points they had studied for months. Alien shields flared and failed. Ships exploded. Fire filled the darkness. The alien fleet scattered. Tried to regroup. But the humans were everywhere. They moved like they had been planning this for years. Because they had. On Earth, human soldiers emerged from underground. They poured out of tunnels, out of subways, out of hidden bases. They attacked the alien occupation forces. They knew every street, every building, every hiding place. They fought with fury, with precision, with years of waiting behind every move. Vorath watched his fleet die, watched his soldiers fall. His hands shook. Retreat, he ordered. His voice was barely a whisper. Then louder. Retreat. All ships. Get us out of here. The remaining alien ships fled. Jumped to FTL. Left Earth behind. As the last ship disappeared, a human voice broadcast to the galaxy. To every world. Every species. Every screen. You came to our world. You killed our people. You thought we would beg for mercy. You thought we would surrender. A pause. Now we are coming for you. The galaxy went silent. No one spoke. No one moved. No one knew what to say. The humans had just defeated a major fleet. A fleet that had conquered dozens of worlds. And they were not done. They were just getting started. Every alien looked at the stars with new eyes. With new fear. Something had changed. Something they did not understand. Humans were coming. Human ships did not return to Earth. They followed the retreating alien fleet. They hunted them across the system. One by one, they picked off the fleeing ships. A straggler here. A damaged vessel there. Each kill was precise. Each death was deserved. The humans did not celebrate. They simply did what needed to be done. Word reached the Galactic Alliance. Humans were coming. They were not stopping. They were not asking for peace. They were not offering terms. They were hunting. The Alliance leaders panicked. They had never faced this before. Conquered species usually surrendered. Usually begged. Usually accepted their fate. These humans did none of those things. All ships, the High Council ordered. All weapons. All soldiers. Gather at the homeworld. We will meet them there and crush them once and for all. The greatest fleet in Alliance history assembled. Thousands of ships. Millions of soldiers. The most advanced technology in the galaxy. They would show these primitives what real power looked like. The human fleet arrived at the Alliance homeworld 3 weeks later. It was not large. Not compared to what waited for them. A few hundred ships. Ugly. Basic. Damaged from the earlier battles. By any measure, they should have been destroyed. But they were not alone. Behind the human fleet, more ships arrived. Then more. Then more. They came from every direction. Ships of every shape and size. Ships the Alliance had never seen before. Ships belonging to species the Alliance had oppressed for centuries. Enslaved. Conquered. Destroyed. They had been waiting for this moment. Waiting for someone to lead them. Waiting for someone who would not give up. Waiting for humans. The Alliance leaders stared at their screens. Their faces went pale. The humans, they built alliances, one whispered. They found others who hate us. They gave them hope. They gave them a reason to fight. The combined fleet attacked. It was chaos. The Alliance ships were powerful. Their technology was advanced. But they were outnumbered, outmaneuvered, outfought. The humans and their new allies moved together like they had trained for years. Because in a way, they had. They had all been training for this moment. Waiting for this chance. Ship after ship fell. The Alliance defense crumbled. High Commander Vorath watched from his flagship. Watched his world burn. Watched everything he had built turn to ash. He sent one final message to Earth. To the humans who would not quit. Why? He asked. His voice was broken. Why did you not surrender? Why did you not beg? Every other species begs. Every other species surrenders. Why not you? A reply came. The human commander's face appeared on his screen. Calm. Tired. But with eyes that held something Vorath had never seen before. Something ancient. Something unbreakable. Because we are humans, she said. We do not beg. We do not surrender. We survive. And we remember. She paused. You should have left us alone. The screen went dark. Vorath's ship was hit. The last thing he saw was the human fleet, still coming, still fighting, still refusing to quit. The Alliance fell. Their worlds were liberated. Their leaders were captured. Their armies were scattered. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. The humans had not just won a battle. They had changed everything. They had shown that no empire, no matter how powerful, was safe if they made the wrong enemy. And that enemy, the one who would not beg, would not surrender, would not quit, was now free. The war was over. The Alliance was broken. Their ships were destroyed. Their leaders were captured. Their armies had surrendered. The humans returned to Earth. Their cities were damaged. Their homes were ruined. Millions were dead. The planet would take years to heal. But they were alive. They were free. Every alien race in the galaxy watched. They expected the humans to become conquerors. To take over the Alliance worlds. To build a new empire. To become the new power in the galaxy. That was what always happened. The strong conquered the weak. That was how things worked. The humans did none of these things. They went back to their lives. They farmed the land that could still grow food. They built new homes where old ones had fallen. They taught their children. They healed their wounded. They buried their dead. They did not seek revenge. They did not seek power. They simply lived. A delegation of alien races came to Earth. They wanted to understand. They wanted to know why. Why did the humans stop? Why did they not take what they had won? They met with President Chen in a simple building. No palace. No throne. Just a room with chairs and a table. She looked tired. The war had aged her. But her eyes were calm. Why? The lead delegate asked. You defeated the Alliance. Their worlds are yours for the taking. Their technology. Their wealth. Their power. Why do you not take it? President Chen looked at them. At their confused faces. At their genuine lack of understanding. We did not fight to conquer, she said. We fought to survive. We fought because your Alliance came to our world and killed our people. They left us no choice. She paused. Now we want peace. We want to live. We want to raise our children and grow our food and watch the sun rise. That is all we have ever wanted. The delegates looked at each other. But you could rule the galaxy. You have the power. No one could stop you. Chen smiled. A tired smile. Power is not why we fought. We fought because we love our homes. Our families. Our lives. That is all we ever wanted. To be left alone. The delegates did not understand. But they accepted. They left Earth with a new understanding of humans. They were not conquerors. They were not builders of empires. They were something else. Something the galaxy had never seen before. Over time, humans became known not as conquerors, but as protectors. When other species were threatened, humans offered help. When disasters struck, humans sent aid. They shared their technology, their resilience, their spirit. They became friends to many, enemies to none. Years passed. Generations grew. The memory of the war faded. But the story remained. One day, a new threat emerged. Another empire, far away, hungry for power. They looked at the galaxy and saw easy prey. Weak species. Divided worlds. Rich resources. They began to conquer. World after world fell. The galaxy panicked. Then someone told them about Earth. About humans. About what happened the last time someone attacked them. The new empire laughed. That was centuries ago. Those humans are gone. The new ones are soft. Peaceful. They will not fight. But they decided to check anyway. They sent spies. They gathered information. They studied human history. They learned about the attack. About the silence. About the waiting. About the ships that rose from oceans and deserts and mountains. About the hunt across the galaxy. About the alliance that fell and never rose again. They learned that humans did not forget. They remembered everything. The new empire made a decision. They left Earth alone. They went the other way. On a small world far from Earth, a young alien sat with his elder. They watched the stars together. Elder, the young one asked, what happened to the last empire that attacked Earth? The elder looked at the stars. His old eyes remembered stories his grandfather had told him. They are silent now, he said. The whole galaxy went silent. And it has never been the same. The young one thought about this. So we should leave them alone. The elder nodded. He looked at his young student with serious eyes. Remember this, he said. Humans do not cry for mercy. They do not beg. They do not surrender. They wait. They prepare. And when they are ready, they do not stop until it is done. He put a hand on the young one's shoulder. Leave them alone. It is the only safe choice. The young one looked at the stars, at the distant blue dot called Earth, and he understood. Somewhere out there, humans were living their lives. Farming, building, teaching, healing. They wanted nothing but peace. But if you threatened them, if you hurt them, if you gave them no choice, they would wait. They would prepare. And they would not stop until it was done. The galaxy had learned that lesson. And it would never forget.